You can simply read the Democrat Gazette, and if you don't want to believe them, if you don't want to believe them, you can read the Washington Post. If you don't want to believe them, you can read Nancy Pelosi's hometown newspaper, the San Francisco Chronicle, which called my opponent's ad one of the egregious lies of 2010. Now, these are not right-leaning publications, particularly the San Francisco Chronicle and the Washington Post. So I spent almost my entire hour in the A10 debate addressing false attacks. I'm all for contrasting with your opponent, but you can't just rely on a left-wing blogger as your source. You've got to have facts. And so I just ask you to take a look at those publications. On the 0103 tax cuts, I think they ought to be extended completely. It is true. I'm sorry, I ran out of time.
Ms. Elliott, your 1 minute response.
Well, I think you cannot depend on the Democrat Gazette editorial as your fact base either, because an editorial is by design an opinion. And the first attack ad that went up on TV was one by Mr. Griffin that was totally based on what was said in the Democrat Gazette editorial. And as far as for anything I have said out there, I will absolutely challenge you to take a look at what's been said by folks who have done their homework. I have not made up anything about Mr. Griffin. When we talk about what happened with Bud Cummins and Mr. Griffin getting his job, that information is directly in the Inspector General's report. You can check it for yourself. I did not. If you're going to quote the Democrat Gazette, and you're going to say that I can't report to you that Crew, which, by the way, is a bipartisan group, Crew is the one who said you were one of the 11 most corrupt candidates out there. I did not say that. I have a right to report what's there. And if you're going to do that, I respect it. Check the sources. I'm comfortable with what I've done.
Ms. Elliott, the question once again to you, where do you stand on the Bush tax cuts?
I think it would be absolutely a good thing to extend the tax cuts for those people who are making $250,000 and under, because this is the middle class. I have spent my life in this state and around the country.